Hello everyone, it's Pepsi back in Roblox Wild Horse Islands. Today I am going to be going over the Winter 2024 event updates, including a complete overview of the winter map, the 3 horses that are exclusive to this year's event, all the rewards that are available, including all accessories and island decor, and lastly, every single activity that is available to earn event currency. So, without further ado, let's get started. The very first thing you notice with this year's event is the snow is back on all main islands, including Mainland, Stable Island, RP Island, Wild Island, the trading hub, the training hub, and the breeding hub. There is now snow, frosted trees, and snow falling from the sky, as well as the aurora borealis, which you can see during nighttime in the sky. It makes the game much brighter. There's even snow on the beaches. So I highly recommend, if you haven't already, turn down your brightness and your sun strength a bit. Usually I have mine set all the way up to 100%, but I had to turn mine down to default settings just so it's not very overwhelming or too bright for me. As you can see, we also have Wesley the resort pilot, who is here at the normal event transportation point at Mainland, which is behind the island decor shop. And he is able to take you to Winter Resort Island. As usual, you are also able to access Winter Resort Island from anywhere you are able to talk to William, the boat captain. So if we head over to William, under Special Islands, when you go to Let's Sail, you have the option to go to Winter Resort Island, and it is here for a limited time. This event is lasting until January 10th, 2024 at 2 p.m. PST. So you do have several weeks to complete this event. So let's head over to Winter Resort Island and get started on doing a complete overview. I am currently in a private server, so I will be going over everything, but keep in mind some of the activities I won't be able to show everything since I won't be able to do the complete activity myself. But once you spawn in, here you are. And here we have Wesley, who will take you back to Mainland if you talk to him again. You also have a sign for the holiday event. So the winter event in Wild Horse Islands is separate from the holiday event. The holiday event has limited horses such as fawn horses that are able to be found. And that is coming in 11 days roughly. So keep a lookout on that. And then you can see these roads. These are the pathways. They are covered by snow. We will be getting into how to get rid of the snow as well. It is one of the activities you are able to do. But before we show anything, let's show the update log. So this is the pop-up for the winter event. It does have a brief synopsis of all of the event activities and options. So the winter event is back again, and it just goes into a bit of a description. We do have 3 new winter limited horses available. The Bobcat Appaloosa, the Emperor Penguin and Illusion, and the Narwhal Frisian. So the Narwhal Frisian also has several varieties. So if you can look at the bottom of that pop-up, it can be found with a long or short tusk, or no tusk at all. It also can be found with ivory, gray, or black tusks. So if your Narwhal Frisian that you find has a tusk, it can be 6 options. It can be a long ivory tusk, a long gray tusk, or a long black tusk, as well as a short ivory tusk, a short gray tusk, or a short black tusk. And then your 7th option, as stated, is just no tusk at all. So it is a super big variety of horses you can find. Let me close that pop-up, and let's get started. So I am going to ride my main horse. So once you follow the first path off the plane, it leads you to the lodge. You can also see on the left over here, you have your horse shop. It is run by Hogan as usual. You have 2 horses on the event island at a time. One is for tokens and one is for Robux as usual. The one for tokens can be a regular horse for normal Wild Horse Island tokens, or it can be one of the event horses, which will be for these winter tokens, which you can see up at the top of my screen as well. I currently have 972. You can see where my cursor is circling it. You can get tokens from doing your regular in-game activities, like taking care of your horse, capturing horses, fishing, anything else as usual, but the best way to earn tokens is your activities on the winter island itself. And here we have an example of a Roblox horse. You can see this is the Frisian. It has the perfect hair match color, which is the gray fade, and it has a tusk. This example is an ivory long tusk. I will be showing the other event horses as well shortly. First, let's head to the lodge. So if you follow the path from the plane, it leads you to this lodge. It is all decorated. Outside, we do have 2 vehicles for sale. You have your winter vehicles here on the right. So right here we have a sleigh with different primary, secondary, tertiary colors. Again, you can find several vehicles. Let me go over the new vehicles. So for this update, you have the snowplow, the toboggan, and a winter sleigh. And then on the left, you have the snowplow, which is available all the time. It does not change vehicles. This isn't rotating. So this is for winter tokens. The use of a snowplow will help you clear the roads of snow. So as you can see, when we walked up here, there were piles of snow on the pathway. It is one of the ways that you can earn golden snowflakes and winter tokens, but it isn't very fast. If I will be going over all the methods, so I will show you, but it isn't one of the quicker methods to get tokens or golden snowflakes, unfortunately. Inside the lodge, we have both our trader and our reward NPC here as well. So if we go, once you enter, you go to the right, you have your first golden snowflake redemption area. You have several of these. These are marked on the map with a golden snowflake. So if you're in the middle of collecting activities, you don't have to come to the trader to exchange your tokens for golden snowflakes. You can go to any of the golden snowflakes marked on the map. There are 3 here by the Snowman building activity, 1 by the igloo building activity, 1 by the bonfire, and then 1 right here next to the trader. So 6 in total. And as you can see, this year's map is quite large. I haven't been playing last year, but this map is pretty large and you have several activities that you can do. But this is the entire map just to get an overview. So this is where we traveled. This was the horse shop. This is the lodge. You have your activities are marked with a red exclamation point, as well as some of the activities have the player icons next to it. And the exclamation points are where you start each activity. And then you have 2 races as well, 1 down here by the barn and 1 up here on top of the ski hill. You can also see these dotted lines are chair lifts that lead up to the hill. You can climb the hill regularly with your horse, but you can also take one of the chair lifts. This one is more by the edge of the beach. There isn't anything really here, but I do take this one quite often if I'm not feeling like climbing up the hill with my horse. Yes. So that is our map. Those are the golden snowflake redemption areas. It is 150 winter tokens to exchange for one golden snowflake. And here you have Larry as well. Larry has the event shop, so if you go to the event shop, you can buy various items for winter tokens that are redeemable. These are also the same items that you can get from the redemption of your golden snowflakes, which I will show you in a second. So some of these accessories include island decor, dyes, and horse accessories. And here at the end, you can also exchange your golden snowflakes over here. So no matter what island you are on, if you talk to Larry and go to the event shop, and then you can click on golden snowflakes and exchange them there as well. There we go. And then if we go to the opposite side, to the left, you have your storage is over here. It is not next to Larry, so if you have the storage game pass, it is right next to the door of the lodge. It does blend in a bit, but it does have the icon as well. So you can access your storage over here. And you have Hank, which is the resort owner. This is the NPC that you turn in your golden snowflakes to redeem and complete the event. You need 450 golden snowflakes to complete the event. You turn in 3 at a time, so you get 150 redeemable items that in total, because 150 is times 3 is 450. You can always turn in more once you finish all the milestones, but 450 is what you need to get everything, including some of the exclusive horses. I said some because, again, the Frisian has different varieties that you can get. So the milestones that are available are at 15 you get a polar bear plush, at 60 you get the bobcat Appaloosa, at 180 you get the emperor penguin and illusion, at 270 you get the icicle crown, at 360 you get the narwhal Frisian, and you get it with a short tusk. The color is random, but it will be a short tusk. And lastly, at 450 you get the lit up antlers. So this is where you redeem. And something else to note about the lodge is that there are plates around on the tables. You can also collect these snowman sugar cookies from each plate. There are 2 inside the lodge. There is also one right outside the lodge over here on this picnic table. These are just some food for your horses. They aren't very special, but they do give you a pretty good amount of bond, and it's something fun to collect. So yeah, the porch does wrap around on the lodge. So let's get started going over everything. So first I'm going to show you the horses that are available this event. We're going to head over to the barn. We are going to be heading over here to this barn and just following the pathway so far. So all activities except for snow plowing and racing give you tokens. And I will show that shortly. But there is one race available here, which is the Sparkly Bridge, and I will be showing an example of the race at the end, not right now. And your other race that you have is on the ski hill. These give you 1 golden snowflake each for completing them. Also, when you're plowing on these pathways, on these roads, you have an option of getting a golden snowflake. All other activities only give you winter tokens, and those you have to exchange for golden snowflakes. So here we are at the barn, and these are the event horses. So over here you have the bobcat Appaloosa with this is the coat, and this is the perfect dyed mane, hair, and tail. So that's what that looks like. And then this one is the Emperor Penguin and Illusion, and this is how the coat looks like, and this is what the perfect dyed mane and tail look like. And then lastly, if you go inside the barn, we have an example of the Frisian, the narwhal Frisian, which you also saw earlier. This one has a long ivory tusk, and this is the perfect colored dyed mane, hair, and tail. Again, all of these horses can be found either in the shop purchased for Robux or winter tokens, or they can be found when catching horses on any island. You have a chance of finding these horses. They may not have the mane and tail dyed the perfect color. When you do redeem your golden snowflakes, you are guaranteed to have the mane, hair, and tail dyed with the correct color, with the correct hair dye. Also over here we have one of these trading pens. I'm not really exactly sure what to call it. I call it a training pen. You can change the layout. We do have several new layouts. This winter grid work and winter pulls and jumps layout are new. And then you have icicle pole bending and snowman barrel racing. These give you some tokens. I did the grid work one as an example, and I think it gave me like 25 winter tokens. But if you are on any of the islands and you are training, it is one of the activities that guarantees to give you some tokens. Yeah. So again, if you want to use this, you just change the layout, ride your horse, and start the activity with the checkered flag, and you get some tokens for doing that. It also trains your horse's skills. I'm actually going, I am going to ride this horse just because it fits in with the winter theme. And I'm gonna go to our next activity. So you can enter the snowman activity from over here. You also have an entrance on two other sides. So this is the entrance I'm at. This is the other entrance, which is closer to the horse shop. And you have one on the opposite side. These are all marked with also golden snowflakes. So if you are doing this activity, you can redeem golden snowflakes for tokens here. This is a very good activity to get golden snowflakes. So how you do it is, on the map you will see two spaces marked with snowballs and exclamation points, and that's where you can start. So I am actually going to switch to my main horse. So you can either go to this one, or there's the opposite one that's over here. Now, whichever one you go to, you press E or you click to grab a snowball. And your horse drags the snowball by a rope. And as you run over these piles of snow in this pen, your snowball collects snow. So as you can see, it is gaining percentages. It is going up and up and up. I like to go in circles. I will be doing a separate video on my favorite methods and some tips and tricks for each one of them. But that's a quick tip, is I like to do it in circles because it gives your snowball more momentum, and to me it feels like it collects snow faster. So no matter what percentage, even if you're not up to 100%, you can turn in your snowball. So let's say you get tired at 50%, you don't have to finish it. All you have to do is follow your green arrow. Follow your green arrow and it'll lead you to one of the snowmen. There are 3, so you can see the starting of a snowman there, here, and one right in front of me. And you just have to go up to it and either press E or click to build. And you will be getting some tokens. I got 92 for putting that, and it gave me 16% of this snowman. And then you can continue building snowballs and making a snowman until that snowman is finished. You get some extra tokens for helping finish that snowman, whether you're in a private server or a public server. The more percentage you contribute, the bigger your reward for finishing it is. So let me collect a little bit more snow. As you add to the snowman, you will see the snowman start to build up. So I'm not gonna finish this ball, I'm just gonna turn it in with like 50% roughly. There you go, and you can see the percentage goes up. The more your snowman is, your snowball is built, the more tokens you do get from turning it in. But that snowman will build up and eventually finish, and then it'll go back to the beginnings of a snowman, and you can do it over and over. So, like I said, there are 3 entrances. That was back to the lodge. That's the one we entered from the barn. This is the 3rd one, so we're going to go out from this side. And I'm going to follow the pathway. I'm going to go back to the main pathway. There we go. If you keep following the pathway, we have some more activities. Most of the activities are in this big ice lake. So we're going to enter from here, and the first thing you see is ice hockey. Ice hockey, I recommend if you are playing with one of your friends maybe, but the point is a puck spawns in the middle of this hockey rink. You just have to push it into one of the goals. It doesn't matter which goal you push it in. If you are the one pushing the puck, you will see your name on top of the puck and how many goals you've done so far during the event. You can push with your horse, or if you want, you can even push with your player. It is slower, but you do have more control doing it this way. If I'm in a public server, I tend to push with my player just because you do get some more control. Once you get it into a goal, it'll pop up a light like you saw on top of that, and it'll also announce in the chat that your player scored a goal in horse hockey, and they scored how many in total. You also will get some winter tokens, but I believe, and I might be incorrect on this, I believe you only get winter tokens if another player also hits the puck, like it switches. So either you steal a puck from a player or you score a goal while playing with another player. I don't think you can farm it yourself. So unless you're in a private server with a friend or you're in a public server, I don't think this is a great method to get some golden snowflakes. Well, winter tokens, which you turn in for golden snowflakes. The next one we're going to be going over in this little ice rink is ice fishing. Ice fishing is a really fun activity because you can do this while kind of not paying attention. This is how I get a lot of my golden snowflakes because I like to watch movies or shows. So right here you have Toby the fisherman, and you do need a fishing rod for this activity. If you don't know how to get a fishing rod, you go on mainland. On the top of the hill you will see the NPC Toby, and you have to do I think like 8 quests to get the fishing rod. One of the quests eventually, after you do so many, like 7 or 8 I believe, will give you a fishing rod, and to do this activity you have to go into quests, click the fishing rod, and click equip. Again, fishing is a regular mini game / activity in Wild Horse Islands. It is a way to get fish that can be used for dyes or can be sold. But when you fish specifically in this ice rink, you have a chance of getting frozen fish. And this only happens when you're ice fishing, which is separate from regular fishing on other islands. So to do that, you just equip the fishing rod, click on the water, it'll take a little bit of time, and then you can get a frozen fish. You are not guaranteed to get frozen fish every time you ice fish. You can also get regular fish as well. As you can see, I have 95. And let me go to my resources. There you go. So you have a chance to get any other fish as well. As you can see, I have pink, yellow, black, white, purple, dark blue, red, green fish, brown fish, all from ice fishing. Now, the point of fishing and getting frozen fish is you can talk to Toby, and you can turn in 10 fish at a time for a golden snowflake. It is not a great way to get fish unless you are kind of doing it in the background while doing something else. But it is very convenient. And when you turn in 10 at a time, you get one golden snowflake. When you get to 300, you get the frozen antlers, which is why I already completed this bar, because the only thing you get from turning your fish in are snowflakes until you get the frozen antlers at 300. So that is one of the event accessories that is able to be redeemed from talking to Toby. So that is your next activity. So we went over snowman building, horse hockey, ice fishing, and then we have 2 more over here before we get into the ones that award snowflakes. So right in the middle of the ice rink, we do have a bonfire. I will be talking about this shortly, but this is where you end one of the events. And you do have another golden snowflake redemption area over here. And then over here you will see a giant chunk of ice somewhere near this cabin. You will see several of them on the lake. They will spawn in different areas. So to do this activity, you need to mine the ice chunks using your harvester, and this is used for igloo building. So you equip your harvester, click on one of the mine chunks, and it has 150 durability. There you go. And once you break it, it will drop ice blocks. You drag these with your horse, and it will lead you to an igloo using your golden arrow. I mean, not your golden arrow, your green arrow, sorry. So it is leading me over here to the igloo building part. So you have to get your ice chunks at the lake, and then it leads you to the igloos. There you go. And you can see there's another golden snowflake area right here to redeem your tokens. Now, there are 2 igloos, I believe, here, and there's 1 or 2 or 3. There's several. But this is one of them. You just add it to the igloo, and like the snowman, you get several tokens. I got 115, and it also gives you a percentage of the igloo being built. When you finish, you do get some additional tokens for helping contribute to that igloo. Alongside that is the logs. So as you can see on the map, with the ice chunks, it has an exclamation point, which is where you start, and then you head over to the igloo building to complete. It's the same thing with the bonfire. So you start at the bonfire logs, and then you finish at the bonfire. So the bonfire logs are right here near the igloos. You drag it with your horse. This one you don't have to break or do anything. It's just a pile. The one annoying part to me of this is the ice hockey rink is right in the middle of the way. So you either have to try to get through the gaps with the log, or you have to go around it. So I went around it. And then you go to the bonfire, you add your log, it gives you 100 to add to the fire, and it gives you some tokens, so it gave me 90, and slowly the fire starts diminishing your log, and you can keep adding to it. I'm not exactly sure if it gives you additional tokens if you reach 5,000. I think it does a little bit, but I haven't seen anyone doing it even on a public server for me to test that out. Most people have been sticking to snowman building or plowing the roads, even though it's not a great way. But yeah, so those are activities that will give you tokens. There is 1, 2, well, ice fishing I won't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then ice fishing gives you the fish, which you can exchange for snowflakes. And then we have 3 more activities that will get you snowflakes. So the first one of those is, if we head over back to the lodge, is snow plowing. So as you have seen while we are going through, we have a ton of snow on these roads, snow piles. So if you equip a horse and you have to be using a driving harness, so let me go to tack, driving harness, and you have a driving harness on your horse, you can use the snowplow vehicle, which like I said is, or like I showed, is purchasable right here outside the lodge, and you drive along the roads to plow the snow. So as you can see, it is slowly plowing each pile of snow. You get a bit of tokens, about like 10 to 15, 16. I've gotten like 17. It's not a great way, but it does get you a couple tokens. And you can just follow the pathways and keep going through the snow. You do have a chance of getting golden snowflakes by doing this. You don't get a ton. I haven't gotten a snowflake from doing this yet, but I've seen some people say it takes them like 30 minutes and they maybe got like one. But yeah, so this is one of the ways to get tokens as well as golden snowflakes. It is not a great method. So let me take this off of my horse and let me switch to my faster horse. The last two ways to get golden snowflakes are your races. So if I head over to the barn, I will show you the first race. This one I don't like as much because it takes me about a minute and a half to do this race, and a lot of it is on the ice rink. So you have to deal with your horse sliding and it being very slippery. But this is called the Sparkly Bridge Race. It is right next to the barn. And if you start this race, I will show you where it goes. So it goes past a little training pen, over the hill, and it guides you to the ice bridge. Oh, you collect those winter tokens. These ice bridges only pop up when you start or are in the race. So if you are in the race, you will see them over the frozen lake. So you can see there is one over the bonfire, and there is one that will be over the cabin over here. And this race, as most Wild Horse Island races, have the jumping obstacles as well. These are some of the furniture items you can get from redeeming your golden snowflakes as well. And I think some of them might be in the shop, in the event shop. So it leads you over both bridges. You have 28 checkpoints. As you can see, I'm already at a minute, so this is taking me a little bit longer, even with like my favorite horse. Here we go. And it ends right here at the roads next to the bonfire logs. So if you do want to use this as your method of getting snowflakes, you have to go all the way back to the bridge. So you do have to climb over this hill to go back to the start. Your other race is at the top of the mountain. The mountain you can, or the ski hill, I should call it what it is, the ski hill. The ski hill you can get to the top of by climbing the hill itself. So I can just go up here and climb it. Or I can use one of the chairlifts. There are two chairlifts. There's one here, which is coming back, so I'm going to try to get there. There is one right here next to the Snowman building activity. And there is one on the opposite side. And I showed these on the map. You can ride them with your horse or without the horse. But they come up and down. They are pretty slow though. And you just hop on either on your horse or while dismounted. And I will show you these on here. So you can see the other one is from over on the opposite side. I don't use this one because there's nothing nearby that's useful. This one is the one I use if I do use the chairlift. It is pretty slow, but it gives you really nice views. And it'll take you all the way to the top of the mountain. And it goes by itself, so I didn't do anything to start it. You just wait for it to leave. And if you miss it, you do have to wait for it to come back. So you can see the other one is going down on the opposite side. And this is the top of the mountain, so you can kind of jump early, or you can wait till it gets to the platform at the top. So once it reaches the platform, I'm gonna hop off, and I am gonna get on my horse. Okay. And just jump off this platform. So this is the top of the mountain of the ski hill. The only activity that's up here is the second race. This is the slippery ski hill race. If you start the race, I believe if you have multiple players, each one will go down a different path down the mountain. If you are just doing it yourself, it will automatically take the leftmost path, which is this one. And there is only 15 checkpoints. I like this one better because it is quicker. Your horse does slide down this hill, so you can see it's sliding, so I don't have that much control. And it leads to the frozen lake. Because your horse is sliding, it is harder to do this jump right here. You sorry, that wasn't English. You kind of just have to slide over that first one. You can't really properly jump. And then your horse kind of turns into regular movement afterwards. And the other checkpoints are just on this lake, and you finish right in the middle of the lake. You can use this to grind. It is pretty efficient. It only took me like 45 seconds to complete that race with my horse and my horse statistics. You can see those here if you're curious. But you do have to climb back up the mountain or take the ski lift to continue doing it over and over again. If you are grinding that way, I recommend just climbing up the route you came down the hill, because it is going to be faster than waiting for a ski lift and going all the way back to the Snowman. So those are all your items and activities on the Winter Island here in Wild Horse Islands for this update. There are also several horses, wild horses, that can be caught on Winter Island. As usual, I do not know all the spawn points yet because I don't usually use Winter Island as a horse catching island, but there is one here on the lake, and I'm sure you've seen some others throughout the video. Yeah, so I believe that is it. I am gonna end by going over all the dyes, auras, vehicles, accessories, and decor that is able to be obtained, and also a quick note for horses. So let me head over, and meanwhile, while I'm headed back to the lodge, I will list these out. I put these at the end because it does take a while. If you are curious about the full list, you can go on the Happy Acres Discord server and see Trick, who is the developer. He posts about every update, so he has listed all of these, but if you're curious, I will list them out. The hair dyes, you have 7 hair dyes available: the hot cocoa hair dye, hot cocoa fade, the glacier fade hair dye, the winter fade hair dye, the northern lights fade hair dye, the icy fade hair dye, the bobcat fade hair dye, and the emperor penguin fade hair dye. Auras, you have 4 auras: the snowman aura, the penguin aura, the northern lights aura, and the polar bear aura. As mentioned, there's 3 vehicles: the snowplow, the toboggan, and the winter sleigh. You have several accessories. Something I forgot to mention is you have 3 special accessories that you can obtain from doing some of the activities. You have one that you can get from horse hockey, one that you can get from building snowmen, and one that you can get from doing the bonfire activity. I will show you one of them because I've only gotten one of them, and it is from the snowman activity. This is the snowman head, which is one of the items. Again, there are 2 others. I definitely want to collect the other 2. Some of the other accessories that are limited to the winter event is antlers. The frozen antlers, which again you can only get from fishing with Toby and reaching that milestone. The lit antlers, the winter beanie, the hot cocoa mouth accessory, the tail snowflake, the face snowflake, the snowflake shield, the ski poles, the ski goggles, the winter bell, the tail holly, the face holly, the snowman friend, the snowman hat, earmuffs, the figure skates, the polar bear plush, the icicle crown, the snowboard, and the narwhal plush. The narwhal plush, to note, also comes in several colors. It comes in gray, purple, blue, green, or pink. So those are 5 options. In addition, you do have the accessory patterns, which are the snowman pattern, the penguin pattern, the polar bear pattern, and the golden snowflake pattern. Those are limited to winter as well. And you also have matching halters for each of those. So you have the snowman halter, the penguin halter, the polar bear halter, and the golden snowflake halter. Keep in mind those halters, some of them can be purchased or received as a reward, both. So for the island decor, some of these can be earned from Hank for trading in your snowflakes. Some can be in the event shop. So the ones in the event shop include the winter horse shelter, the snow mound, the winter bonfire, the log and stick deer, the hanging icicle. The ones that are only redeemable from trading in your snowflakes are igloos, the winter round pen, the winter cabin, the winter bonfire set, the icicle jump, the snowman jump, and the snowflake jump. Again, the only food, like I mentioned, is the snowflake cookies that can be found in the lodge on these plates. And I believe that is it. Keep in mind that this event does end on January 10th, 2024, which is a Friday at 2 p.m. PST. Another thing to note is that if you have a if you find a full narwhal Frisian, or if you use a forever full potion on a narwhal Frisian with a horn, the horn will not be visible because horns are not visible on fulls. And I believe that is it. That should be absolutely everything with the event. If you do have any questions in regards to the event, or want to leave a comment on anything you want to see in Wild Horse Islands, or maybe even other games in general, leave me a comment down below, please. And I believe that's it. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.